3 minutes, okay?
There it is.
Is that cool?
Live.
Oh, wait a minute, we're now live. All right.
There you go.
Problems on the. Okay, we are live. Hi, I'm Dave Serio. This is You Ought to Know Live, seen and heard live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Hangout10.com network. We had a little problem getting on the air, but we're now live, so we'll try to take care of this and introduce some of my guests. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I host a radio show called You Ought to Know. It's seen and heard live every Saturday morning, on 3 radio stations in the Maryland area. Also live every Saturday morning, DaveSerio.com. Now, the first hour, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., is on Q1370 AM in Baltimore and 99.9 FM, Harford County and White Marsh, and 8 to 10 on the Powerhouse, the 50,000-watt power station, AM 680 WCBM, and then 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Free Talk 930 WFMD in Frederick, Maryland. And again, all 4 hours live video and audio streaming, DaveSerio.com. Let us go to our buddy, Michael Lambert from the Shine Shop. We're now live, Mr. Mike, so act like you know what you're talking about. Good evening, Mr. Mike.
Good evening, Dave. How are you?
So, I'm doing well. Good evening. What you got behind you, mister?
Well, my day started out good, and then this showed up in my shop. Scratched up, all dirty, Dodge.
What do you mean this showed up in your shop?
That I had to fix. So now it's beautiful. No, it's a 2016
Very good.
Dodge Hellcat. No, very nice car. Very nice car. Except it's
all right, and I appreciate you fixing it up. You said there were 10 spots on there from the Canadian manufacturer?
Yeah, it was 10 spots that they sanded on the assembly line. That's I think you got the record, but I've seen quite a few. There was 5 or 6 on mine, but yeah, it's just the basic things they fix on the assembly line. They see something as it goes down the line, and they've only got about 10 or 15 seconds to correct it, so they just buzz it with a little tiny sander and call it done. And fortunately, you didn't have the dealer do anything to it, so we fixed it up real nice.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I want to thank Heritage Dodge in Parkville because they did a great job getting this car for me quickly and pricing it right, and they were nice enough to listen to me when I asked them not to touch the car other than take the protectants off the vehicle for shipping, but they didn't do any exterior or interior cleaning, which I asked for. Yep. And I appreciate that because, as you know, Mike, these were 10 mistakes or 10 little boo-boos that the manufacturer did when sometimes when some of the dealers get a hold of them, more scratches are added.
Exactly, and you told me the story about you talked to your salesman and made him go back in the wash bay, and then when he came back and talked to you again, he understood exactly what you needed. So that was nice of him to make sure he did that.
Yeah. I asked him to go back. Well, I was on the phone and I said, listen, I'm going to give you a call back in about 15 minutes. I said, within that 15 minutes, can you make your way back to the wash bay? He goes, sure. I said, I'd like you to go back to the wash bay, and I want you to tell me what the condition of the wash mitt looks like. So I called him back in 15 minutes, and I said, what's the condition of the wash mitt? He goes, we won't touch your car.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. They did a fine job of not touching your car, too, so that's good.
Yeah.
No, we polished it out.
So what did you do to it today?
We spent from about, I'm going to say 9:30 in the morning till 3 o'clock in this afternoon doing a 2-step polish on it. And we got 1 coat of the Kamikaze Miyabi coating on it. And then in the morning we will put a coat of Kamikaze ISM on it. And then we will remove some adhesive left over on the wheels and coat the wheels. And we will coat the glass and the tires, and then we should be good to go.
Very good. Very nice. Interior okay? Any problems with the interior at all?
No, not at all. Aston got in it. He fits in there good, and there was nothing else in there that I saw. So
Very good. Very good.
No,
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Sure.
We got a tip of the week and give out some contact information for you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jose Bueso from DynamicAutomotive.net. Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations in the Frederick, Maryland area. Tell us a little bit about Dynamic Automotive, Mr. Jose.
Well, as you said, we have 3 locations here in Frederick County. I'm at the 2nd location, which is in Libertytown, Maryland. My phone number here, if you want to contact me, is 301-694-6250. We're open 6 days a week at this location, 8 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to noon on Saturday. Our original location is in Newmarket, Maryland. That phone number is 301-694-5460. That operation is also 6 days a week. They're open 8 to 6 Monday through Friday and 8 to 5 on Saturday. You'll talk to my partner Lee Foreman and Sarah at that location if you want service done there. And then our 3rd location is right off of Route 270 in beautiful Urbana, Maryland. That phone number there is 301-874-8833. The address is 8824 Urbana Church Road, and that is a 7-day operation. That boasts a 4-bay quick lube facility up front, a 9-bay repair shop, and a 60-foot soft cloth car wash that Mike Lambert absolutely loves. And I believe, as a final touch, he's going to take that Hellcat over there tomorrow. I just saw him choke and do a nice job on it. So those are the 3 locations that we're at. And
very good.
We stay pretty busy all the time.
Where's the other half of the dynamic duo tonight?
Well, his significant other had a little fender bender. He was going to make a left-hand turn, and the gentleman behind her was impatient and decided to pass on the left, smashing her in the driver's door. Beautiful Honda Pilot.
Wow.
Got a bit dented up, and they had to take the vehicle over to the body shop tonight. It's not bad, really, really bad, but it's going to require a door replacement. So he gives his apologies. He's
Sure.
going to have to be on the show next week. Now, I won't be here next week, but I will tell him, save face, that he should show on.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll be
It's
at next SEMA next
good
week.
excuse. Okay. Where will you be?
Apex SEMA.
SEMA?
Yep. That's going to be quite a show.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm
working hard in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to take our staff with us, 3 from our staff, and my partners Dwayne and Lee are joining us also. So there are half a dozen of us going over to the show this year.
Now, if I'm not asking too much, what kind of price tag does that go to the company taking 6 people to SEMA? Are we talking about more than $10,000 or less?
No, a little less than $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an educational thing.
Well, I mean, you know,
it's not fun. I mean, we have our booklets. All of us are signing up for our classes, and Monday through Friday we'll be attending classes and putting forth a lot of effort to get educated in the industry. And we always seem to see people expand, and they just become better when they're exposed to something like this, and they just become much more in tune with the business and the industry, and it just makes you stronger as a business.
Now, did you
hear the news in the industry, by the way, that Bridgestone is buying Pep Boys?
Is that what's happening? No, I hadn't heard that. I was concentrating on GM's latest recall on the older vehicles that were catching fire from oil leakage from the valve covers.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So when did that announcement happen?
You know, Well, they just announced it yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's got to go through the shareholders, but since they're offering more than what the shares are worth, they don't think that's going to be a problem. And I think it's for $235 million cash.
Wow.
That is
So,
something else.
yep, and I have no problem with that. I hope they close all 800 stores. There you go. Turn them all into Firestones, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's really going to be an impact. You know, there was speculation that I had heard that maybe Carl Icahn was going to absorb Pep Boys into his fold. So this really kind of surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, the Bridgestone has made the choice, so it's going to be interesting. All right, well, we'll be back with you in just one moment, Jose, and thank you very much for joining us. Give us a moment. We'll be right back.
Always a lot of fun. Thank you, Dave.
My pleasure, buddy. Brad Sanders from BG Products and Services. Good evening, Mr. Brad.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, sir. BG Products and Services is a company that supplies chemicals and also machines to independent shops, franchise shops, and dealers in order to perform maintenance on vehicles, like, for example, transmission fluid exchanges, coolant, antifreeze exchanges, power steering exchanges, and more. And you guys are on the cusp right now of being the best when it comes to fighting the problems that we have with 10% ethanol in our gasoline. Tell them about the gasoline engines.
Absolutely. We've noticed this issue, and it's an issue everywhere in every state. There's only a few gas pumps in the actual state of Maryland, and they're all on the Eastern Shore where you cannot get ethanol in your gasoline. So anytime you fill up your tank, you're going to have some percentage of ethanol in your gasoline. And what that's doing is it's mixing with moisture that's in your gas tank, and it's causing corrosion issues. It's destabilizing the gasoline, and it's causing carbon deposits to form inside your engine. So what BG has come up with is two different chemicals to help kind of counteract some of those issues. The first chemical is a dryer to absorb any moisture that's in the gas tank so that it all burns together out with the fuel. And the second part is what we call the ethanol defender. And this is the real part of the kit. It's a 3-in-1. It's a cleaner, so it's going to clean any sort of carbon deposits that have formed, but it also neutralizes the acids from the ethanol. And then the final part is a stabilizer, similar to like Stable, which you'll buy at a parts store, and it'll stabilize the gasoline for up to a year. So those two chemicals combined are our ethanol defender kit, and you pour them both right in the gas tank, and it's recommended probably every 5,000 to 15,000 miles.
All right. And what is the best way to get a hold of these products?
Our website, bgfindashop.com. You can search and type in your zip code, and it'll bring up every single shop in the area that carries BG products. And we actually have a new app for your phone that you can download. That's BG Find a Shop app, where you can punch in through the app all the local shops in your area, and you can find them through your phone.
Okay, very good. That's BG, as in B as in boy, G as in George, findashop.com. And when you go to that, you put your zip code in, gives you a list of the dealers in the area, and usually tells you what those dealers actually do as far as services, too. But if you ever want to pick up the product, the ethanol defender, it's best to always call the shop before you get there just to make sure they have it in stock. But very good. We put it in a lot of the cars at our shop, you know that, and all of our employees use it as well as myself. Very, very good products.
Thank you. One of the other things.
All right, we'll be back with you just one second, Mr. Brad. Thank you. Oh, sure, go ahead.
I wanted to talk about a new chemical we have. I was in Dallas this past week for a training course through BG Products, and they have, you're obviously familiar with BG MOA. It's our mainline oil additive. They've come up with a reformulation of it, and it's called Extended Life MOA. So it's designed for all of your newer vehicles that are going extended oil change intervals, that are seeing issues with compression, that are seeing issues with oil consumption, and it's going to help kind of treat those engines so that they run correctly so you don't see those issues anymore. And I'll get into it a little more. I'll let you get on maybe next time you come around to me, and I'll kind of go in depth a little more about it. But I wanted to make sure I bring it up.
Sounds good. No problem at all, Brad. I'll be back with you in just a few minutes, and we will talk about that.
Okay.
All right, we're ready for Mr. Mike Lambert and his tip of the week. Good evening, Mr. Mike.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Okay, tip of the week better not be don't buy a Hellcat. I don't want to hear about that.
No, it won't. It won't be that. Well, we'll finish up talking about getting your car ready for wintertime like we did on the radio, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. Well, the first thing I tell people to do is really give the car a thorough vacuuming. That means moving the seats far forward and as high up as they'll go so you can get the cheese fishes and the pretzels and the French fries and all that stuff out from under the seats. So once we do that throughout the whole car, then we want to shampoo the carpets very well with whatever carpet shampoo you like to use. Once they're thoroughly dry, I like to put, and what we do here is we put a coating or like a Scotch Guard product. If you're going to do it yourself, you can get Scotch Guard in the stores. I like the Geon fabric coating. It lasts about a year. And what they do is they help keep the dirt from attaching itself to the fibers of the carpet. So it makes it much easier to clean throughout the winter, and the salt doesn't attach itself to the carpet. And then we do the same thing with if you have a leather interior. We clean the leather thoroughly. Whatever leather conditioner you like, you can put on. We use Geon leather, which is more of a coating for leather. It helps keep the jean dye from your blue jeans from transferring to the leather and things like that, and the stains. And if you do get any salt or water or anything like that, it just kind of beads up and stays on the surface, so it makes it much easier to clean, and you don't get any staining in the leather. And then we just kind of wipe down all the vinyl.
Okay.
I use Meguiar's quick interior detailer because it provides some UV protection, but it doesn't leave any kind of a unnatural finish. It just makes it look factory. So that works very well. And then I clean the windows really, really well on the inside. And then as we talked about on the radio, now's the good time to check your wiper blades again and replace those, and have your technician replace your cabin air filter. So your heating and your defrosting works very well. So, and then with that and all the stuff we talked about on the outside, Jasper, man, that should get your car ready.
Very good. Very good. Well, I'll tell you, you've given out some excellent tips over the last year or so, and it really does help customers. I get calls all the time about people saying that you do a great job. And, you're very informative without having to, throw people to you in order to get the stuff done.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I get calls about it all the time, and they just say that we crack them up. So.
There you go. We try. We try.
Yep. No, I've gotten a lot of...
I hate to say it, but you're usually the butt of the joke, but that's okay.
I get a lot of calls from your clients and your listeners, and it's worked out really, really well. I get a lot of business from them, and they've all been really, really nice people to deal with.
Great. Very good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, buddy. And you always do an excellent job. And I don't think anybody's surprised now. That car behind you is mine, and just purchased it. And I have complete confidence in giving you brand new cars that have not been touched by anybody, knowing that you're going to take the best care of them and get them to look the best. And I can tell by the looks of it right now that it's completely different than the car that I dropped off.
Yeah, I'm real happy with the way it's turning out, and I look forward to finishing it up tomorrow. I think it's going to look even better. So yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, Mike Lambert, 410-833-1632 is the contact phone number. And the website, which, by the way, we do highly recommend going to, not only does it give information about the pricing and what Mike does as far as the coatings, he's doing the Kawasaki coating on right now. Nagasaki, what is that coating?
It's the Kamikaze collection of coatings.
Okay, Kamikaze. Yeah, I knew it was one of them. That is a really beautiful, brings out the color of cars like you wouldn't believe. And this one also is a harder protectant, correct?
Yeah, the process we're using on yours is something we've never done before. It's a combination of two different coatings that they have, and so we're it's not on the website yet. So if you're going to look to see what we do, how we do this, it's not on the website yet. You're the first one, and after talking with Todd Cooper Rider at Esoteric, he said this was the way to go if you want something that's really, really durable and very, very beautiful. So we're interested to see how it turns out.
Great. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. And again, if you want to find out more about Mike's business, what he does with the ceramic coatings and the synthetic waxes, and how he gets your car to a 98% correctness. In my case, I think this one 100%, because you found the 10 spots that Dodge had decided it wasn't that important to make perfect, and you've made them perfect, cleaned them up, and now she's ready to go. So easier to do on a brand new car, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's turned out really well. You know, nothing like it's nowhere near as much work as a 6 or 7 year old car, but it's taken a while. But this is about as close to perfect as I can get it.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mike. Your website is theshineshopAutoDetailing.com. And go to that, folks, for a number of reasons. First of all, as I said, pricing and also type of products and equipment that Mike uses. But also, it has the gallery, which has a list of cars and pictures of cars that Mike has worked on in the last number of years. And, very important, a do-it-yourself section. So if you would like to try to do some of the things that Mike does, I guarantee you, you don't have the talent that Mike has. It's just an amazing thing to watch him work. But he can give you some helpful hints in the do-it-yourself section, and it'd be something that you could try to do yourself. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it, buddy.
My pleasure, Dave. And you kind of locked up on the screen there.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll get to Jose right now and see how he's doing. Jose Bueso from Frederick, in the, that would be, of course, Dynamic Automotive. There you are. You're lit up now on my screen, so hopefully I'm doing okay. Jose, it's good to have you here again. I know you run a very busy shop, Todd, and also, would you consider the other gentleman a full technician, or is he a helper?
Oh, he's a full technician. He started with us when I was running the Urbana location in 2005, 2006. He actually was a career and technology student in high school, and he developed into a full-fledged technician. Okay. And he's doing very well.
Great. The reason why I said that is, as you know, he's very young. So he doesn't look like he's been in the field for a long, long time. So I'm glad to see that he's a full-fledged technician and really doing well at a young age.
Yeah, there aren't too many young men like him around. I've only, you know as well as I do, there are only really a handful of young men that really grasp this business and take off with it, and he's one of the few that has.
Right. And, you know, that's one of the problems we have in the industry is very few schools are teaching the industry that we are in, and the ones that are, like the trade schools, we're having a difficult time finding good quality people coming out of them ready to work.
Absolutely, that's so true. We're very fortunate here in Frederick County where we have the Career and Technology Center serving our high schools in our area. And currently we're trying to develop a school, a community college where they will feed into. And we're really hoping that Frederick Community College will be that school. Currently in our area, and I know you know this very well yourself, that Catonsville Community College has a full-fledged automotive program and serves our area in education, and that the kids, or the young men and women, I should say, that attend that course, that medium of education, when they finish their 2-year role in that school, they graduate with a degree in applied sciences. So there's a real good program set up for these guys and gals to get into and get educated in, and then they have something to show for it, an associate's degree, and then they can even go further than that.
Very good. Well, I tell you, it is tough to find people for our business now. It is definitely slim pickings, as the expression goes, because it really is a lot of people that think that this is like the old days, where technicians are just grease monkeys or some other slang word. The fact is that education is extremely important. Computers are 90% of the work, and you have to understand how the computer works, how it relates to the automobile, and then every once in a while you get the blessing of being able to do an easy water pump job. But mostly computer and electrical work is probably 90% of our field now.
Yeah, it's extremely sophisticated compared to when you and I first started in this business. It's worlds apart. You have to be strong in math. You have to be strong in electricity. You have to understand how computer systems work. And then, of course, there's all the basic stuff that you and I learned. There's still hydraulics. There's still mechanical applications you have to understand. There's quite an array of skills you have to acquire.
Well, I don't know about your age, but I tell you, when they took the crank off that Model A, I thought the world was going to end.
Oh, yeah, we were pushing the outside of the envelope, weren't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. We want to apologize to our listeners tonight. It seems like everything is in delay a little bit, unfortunately, and I am running the show with land internet, so we're not using Wi-Fi, which sometimes this happens when doing it. So I don't know whether it's the weather that's changing outside or whatever, but internet is slow tonight, so we apologize. Well, Mr. Jose, thank you so much for being with us tonight. DynamicAutomotive.net is the website to go to. Has all the information about all three of your locations and the services you provide. And I always like to remind our listeners, and they mention my name, Dave Sirio, or the radio show You Ought to Know, that you'll give 10% off their ticket, parts and labor, right off the top, just for mentioning my name or the name of the radio show. So we appreciate that.
It's my pleasure, and that is correct. We'll give everyone a 10% discount whenever they mention You Ought to Know and Dave Serio, and it's always a pleasure joining you and all the others here in the evening.
Thank you, Jose. We'll be back with you in just a few moments, buddy. All right, Mr. Brad Sanders, we are ready to talk about Ethanol Defender and also the brand new MOA.
Yeah, getting into the brand new MOA, BG will be releasing it in January 2016, so not too much longer here until we get it. But what it is, it's an extended life oil supplement, and it's formulated with with 100% synthetic chemistry, and it's going to fortify all engine oils for up to 10,000 miles.
Great.
Which means you can go up to 10,000 miles on your oil change interval.
Even with conventional oil?
Even with conventional oil.
Wow.
Yep, BG is so sure of this that they've come up with a new type of protection plan specifically for this product called the BG Engine Assurance Plan. And there's 3 tiers of coverage now. Previously, there were only 2. Plan 1 is getting the oil additive before 50,000 miles for the first time. And that will give you up to $4,000 in engine coverage.
Wow.
Plan 2 is between getting the first oil additive serviced with your vehicle between 50,000 and 80,000 miles. With that, you'll get up to $2,000 of coverage. And now we offer Plan 3, which is getting it done for the first time between 80,000 and 100,000 miles. And there you'll get $500 of coverage. And what BG also has done is they've added the Engine Oil Plus, which if you use our oil additive and you use our EPR part number 109, which is an engine cleaner, it'll actually bump the coverage amounts up. So for Plan 1, you'd have up to $6,000 of coverage.
Wow.
For Plan 2, you'd have up to $3,000 of coverage. And for Plan 3, you'd have up to $1,000 of coverage.
Now,
And then
are these tiers, do they change? Are they going to be changing in January for all of the BG products or just the MOA?
No, this is just for the new MOA. So the old protection plan with the old MOA will still be available. The old MOA will always still be available as long as people are buying it. But this is just a new product we have, mainly designed for some of the newer vehicles where the manufacturers are recommending a 10,000-mile oil change interval, such as Toyota, Volkswagen, Mercedes, so on and so forth, Honda.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. This is really good news for me, and I'll tell you the reason why. It's going to take me at least the next year to explain this to everybody on the radio. So I'm guaranteed to have BG products and services hanging around for a while, because this is a little confusing. But it is a really good deal.
What I can do is I'll drop off some paperwork, and your customers will have to listen to you on your radio show so that you can explain it to them a little better than I can.
I don't know about that, but we'll get it on there, that's for sure, because the MOA is something that we recommend to all of our customers when they do their oil changes. So we probably sell, I would say our oil changes, 75% of our oil changes are getting the MOA product and the ethanol defender.
You guys certainly go through quite a bit of it. I 100% believe that. Do a fantastic job, that is for sure.
So very good. All right, and by the way, Jose, if you haven't been doing that on a regular basis, by just like for example, when you do when you do an estimate for a customer and they've asked for an oil change, I just add the MOA and the ethanol in there, okay, in with the estimate, and then explain it to them as they're picking up their car that we did this special treatment for them and what it does. And normally, when they come back for an oil change, they ask for it again without a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So the new MOA product again is going to be what is it? What is it still called MOA?
Yeah, they just changed the name to Extended Life MOA. So it's still going to be the exact.
And will it take
it's in a blue can. Go ahead.
Okay. Will it take the place of the original MOA? Will it take the place of the original MOA?
Well, we'll still offer both. So you'll be able to choose, depending on the vehicle, which one you'd want to use. So for your newer vehicles.
What's the difference? What's the difference in cost?
I don't have a price point yet. We'll find out in January. I'm assuming it's going to be a little more expensive, but I don't think it's going to be anything drastic.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'd like to know the advantage and disadvantage between both of the products. I mean, the regular MOA has been fantastic to use. As a matter of fact, I've gone so far as to use that in some of my air compressors when I change the oil, and it has extended the life incredibly of my older compressors within my business. But what specifically is the improvement, if any, or the difference between the old MOA and the new MOA?
Well, in the new MOA, they've added an increased amount of detergents and antioxidants to help keep the engine clean, as well as to stabilize the viscosity of the oil. And it's also has other new additives to help prevent wear, to increase the film strength of the oil, so you're not getting that metal-to-metal friction. And it's also going to help prevent varnish and corrosion and some other things. So it's basically just it's something that MOA's been around since the last time they reformulated it was in the 90s. So with the design of the engines today, it's significantly different than engines from the 90s. So they've decided to come out with an upgraded version of our previous formulated MOA.
All right, well, real quick, we're running out of time, but I got one question for you, if you don't mind, Brad. Did you learn anything about direct injection and what the future is with BG and that?
Well, I spoke with one of the technicians there. what I was looking for is an induction style service to offer to a customer who comes in at 60,000 miles with carbon on the valves, and it's something that they're obviously extremely aware of. And they have a tool and a chemical in the works, but it's not perfect yet, so they don't want to release it yet. So they said middle of 2016. So what they do recommend is they do recommend this new MOA for those GDI engines, as well as obviously the 44K, and then again the engine cleaner, which is a chemical that will help clean the rings, the piston rings, so that they get proper piston ring function in and out, as well as clean up some of the PCV vapors that are coming back through to the intake, so you're not getting those oily deposits on your intake valves.
Very good. Jose, do you have any other questions for Brad about the MOA, the new MOA?
No, I think it's going to be very interesting, though, when it comes out. I'm a strong believer in that product, and if they're going to make improvements based on the new designs of the modern engines, I think it's going to be fantastic. So I'm happy to see it come out.
We're very happy as well.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all of you being with me this evening. It's been a great show. We're sorry again for the delay for our viewers, but we apologize for that. But we'll be back next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, to do it all over again. And want to remind you about my radio program. It's Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. DaveSerio.com is the place to find it on the web. That's live video and audio streaming. And if you want to find out more information on the stations, go to DaveSerio.com, and we've got everything listed right there on the website. For Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop, appreciate you being here, Mike. 410-833-1632, and also theshineshopAutoDetailing.com. We also want to thank Jose Bueso from Dynamic Automotive, and that's Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations, Liberty Town, New Market, and Urbana, and that's at dynamicautomotive.net. And Brad Sanders from BG Products and Services. To find the closest shop to you that services BG products, go to bgfindashop.com. I'm Dave Serio. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on archive, we'd love to have you join us next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. live. YouAutoKnowLive.com, part of the Hangout10.com network. Happy Halloween, safe trick-or-treating, and don't text and drive. Bye.
That's good.